Emmylou Harris has been in the entertainment industry for 55 years and is one of America's most respected and admired stars. But looking back, most people find it hard to believe the suffering she endured before reaching her current position. But the question is, in a world full of temptation and scandal, where fame can easily be swallowed by gossip, why has Emmylou kept her soul intact, like a unicorn in everyday life? How did she do it? And what secrets are hidden behind the spotlight that the public has never known? Let's take a look back at Emmylou Harris's extraordinary 55-year journey through rare photos and her untold story.
So much of music is about love and relationships. You can say love and loss and relationships. You're single now, which I find very hard to believe.
Oh,
But the question is, you're not hanging out your heart, are you?
Emmylou Harris was born on April 13, 1947, in Birmingham, Alabama, into a military family. Her father, Walter Rutland Harris, was a Marine Corps officer who served in both World War II and the Korean War. He was once taken as a prisoner of war, and the traumatic memories left him emotionally withdrawn, creating a barrier between him and Emmylou. Her mother, Eugenia, was a resilient and capable woman who raised Emmylou with love and discipline. Emmylou's childhood was a blend of military order and a dreamy soul. She stood out in school with outstanding academic performance, consistently earning straight A's, and was known for her intelligence and sensitivity. Everyone believed she would pursue a stable academic path, perhaps in law, medicine, or another prestigious profession. However, the artist's heart within Emmylou told her otherwise. Although she didn't come from a musical family, Emmylou quickly revealed a deep passion for the arts. She loved sound, melody, and the spotlight. When she received a scholarship to the University of North Carolina to study music, drama, and art, Emmylou began her journey to discover her true self. Initially, she dreamed of becoming an actress, but it was music that ultimately became her destiny, leading her to a legendary place in the world of country music. However, life's challenges and the intense academic environment of the university proved more difficult than she expected. Throughout college, Emmylou had to balance studying and performing at local clubs to earn money. She worked as a waitress just to make ends meet. As tuition and living expenses continued to rise, acting seemed increasingly out of reach. Overwhelmed by pressure and exhaustion, she made a bold decision: to drop out. When asked why, Emmylou admitted, "I was just too tired of taking boring classes that had nothing to do with my life's purpose." Even then, her path didn't stop. After leaving college, she continued to pursue her passion for the arts by performing at small folk music clubs. It was there she realized she loved singing far more than acting. Through every melody and lyric, she discovered her voice and identity. Although she still didn't see music as a career at the time, her growing love for performing pushed her to dedicate all her time and energy to becoming a singer. Her childhood didn't lead her directly to country music. Emmylou grew up deeply inspired by the 1960s folk scene, with icons like Leonard Cohen, Joan Baez, and Bob Dylan nurturing her love for performance. However, it was her brother who opened the door to country music. He introduced her to legends like Loretta Lynn, Johnny Cash, and Buck Owens. The blend of folk influences and country roots ultimately shaped Emmylou Harris's signature sound: powerful, emotional, and deeply soulful. Everything began in the early 1970s, when she started singing in bars and small clubs around Washington, D.C. These were intimate performances for small but genuine audiences, gradually building her reputation, one show at a time. During that period, Emmylou met Billy and Taffy Danoff, a duo who immediately saw her potential. They did everything they could to help her make her first real breakthrough. Although their efforts didn't catapult her to the top, they opened more doors and gave her more performance opportunities. This became a crucial growth phase, where she continued to develop her foundation and shape her own musical identity. One of the biggest turning points in Harris's life was meeting Graham Parsons, an American singer-songwriter. Parsons was captivated by her unique voice and felt a deep musical connection with her. They collaborated and performed together as perfect musical partners, blending harmonies and emotions effortlessly. Emmylou wasn't just a backup singer for Parsons, she was a true musical soulmate. She once said, "Once I started singing country with Graham, there was no turning back." And indeed, from that moment, her career path was filled with remarkable achievements in country music. After Parsons' sudden passing, Emmylou released a tribute album titled Return of the Grievous Angel, featuring covers by iconic artists like Beck, The Pretenders, and Lucinda Williams. It was her way of saying goodbye to someone deeply important to her. But it also became the launchpad that propelled her career to a whole new level. She kept rising, even while facing heartbreaking loss. Not long after, Emmylou formed her own band and began performing regularly at the Red Fox Inn in Bethesda, Maryland. It was an exciting and passionate phase, where she built her team and perfected her live performances. It was also at the Red Fox Inn where she met Brian Aherne, a Canadian record producer who would later become a key figure in her career. In 1975, all of Emmylou's efforts and perseverance were finally rewarded when her album Pieces of the Sky became a massive success. The album climbed to number 7 on the Billboard country charts and captured the hearts of listeners across America. Following the overwhelming success of Pieces of the Sky, Emmylou Harris continued to captivate audiences with Elite Hotel, a major milestone in her career. The album quickly rose to number 1 on the country charts and earned her first Grammy Award for Best Female Country Vocal Performance. From that moment on, Emmylou was no longer an emerging face. She had become a true icon of country music. In the years that followed, she continued to innovate, delivering heartfelt hits like Beneath Still Waters, Gold Watch and Chain, Save the Last Dance for Me, Pledging My Love, and If This Is Goodbye, 2006. Each song reflected her deep soul, refined style, and lasting appeal. Unfortunately, Emmylou Harris was far less fortunate in matters of the heart. The men who entered her life always seemed to find new ways to tear her world apart. In 1969, in the free-spirited and vibrant atmosphere of Greenwich Village, New York, the cradle of the contemporary folk movement, Emmylou Harris was just a young woman full of passion and artistic fire. She spent those days performing in small cafes, singing for the most sincere music lovers. It was there that she met Tom Slocum, the man who stirred her heart. Tom was not only a musical companion, but also the person who convinced her that she had found her first true love. Their romance blossomed quickly, and within a year, they decided to marry, opening a new chapter in Emmylou's life, one of love, marriage, and responsibility. In 1970, they joyfully welcomed their first daughter, Hallie, the greatest joy of her life. Becoming a mother was a sacred and emotional moment, but it also marked the beginning of her toughest challenge, balancing her roles as a mother and an artist. As Emmylou's singing career began to take off, she received more and more invitations to perform, forcing her to be away from home frequently. She loved her daughter, loved her family, but the fire of artistry within her was too strong to extinguish. Long tours and the pressures of work gradually strained the marriage. Distance and differing life goals drove them apart. After many attempts at reconciliation, Tom filed for divorce, and in 1971, they officially separated. Emmylou, now a single mother, deeply understood the trade-off between fame and personal happiness. Even so, she gave all her love to her daughter Hallie. At first, Emmylou tried to bring her along on tours, hoping to create a little family on the road. But the constant travel between cities, stages, and hotels soon made her realize that it wasn't possible. Life on the road is not for children. It may look like a Disneyland adventure, but it's not a way to live, she once shared in an interview. Putting her daughter above all else, Emmylou made the heartbreaking but correct decision, sending Hallie back to Maryland to be raised by her grandparents in a more stable environment. Despite being far away from her child, she always kept close contact and cared for her with all the love of a mother. It was a difficult decision, but it revealed a deep love and sense of responsibility of a mother. 1977 marked a new turning point in Emmylou Harris's life, when she met and married Brian Ahern, a talented music producer from Canada, someone she greatly admired both professionally and personally. The two quickly became a power couple in the country music industry, together creating many resounding successes. However, behind the perfect recordings was a challenging relationship. Differences in personality and work pressure gradually caused their marriage to crack. However, in 1979, they welcomed their daughter Megan, a precious gift that they both cherished. In 1984, Emmylou and Brian officially divorced due to irreconcilable differences. Despite the breakup, Emmylou never expressed bitterness or blame. She always showed respect for the man she had been with. On the contrary, there were rumors that Brian felt hurt, especially when just a few months later, Emmylou married Paul Kennerly, a British musician and producer, who was also a close creative partner in her musical projects. This marriage lasted nearly a decade, the longest of Emmylou's 3 official relationships. The two shared a passion for music and had a deep artistic bond. However, as time passed, differences in lifestyle and views once again drove them apart. By 1993, Emmylou and Paul officially divorced, closing the final chapter of their marriage. After the breakup, Emmylou chose to live a more private life, away from the noise of the entertainment industry. Although she no longer appeared frequently in the public eye, she still quietly devoted herself to music and humanitarian activities. However, in 2012, her name suddenly returned to the news when she was involved in a minor traffic accident on the 405 freeway in Los Angeles. According to witnesses, Emmylou's car accidentally collided lightly with another vehicle, but she did not stop immediately, causing the police to charge her with leaving the scene after the collision. Emmylou later explained that she had no idea her car had hit another car. In the end, she agreed to pay $5,000 in compensation to the injured person and avoided more serious legal troubles. Although the incident did not greatly affect her reputation, it showed a very human side of Emmylou Harris, an experienced artist who knew how to take responsibility and always kept her composure even in the most difficult moments. At 77, Emmylou Harris still retains her graceful beauty and radiant demeanor as ever. Her face bears the marks of time, but her eyes and smile still exude youthfulness, optimism, and vitality. After more than half a century of dedication, Emmylou's musical journey is still marked by sweet, soulful ballads and an emotional voice that has captivated millions of music lovers around the world. However, few people know that since childhood, Emmylou dreamed of shining on the silver screen. That dream partly came true when in 1988, she tried her hand at acting in the HBO comedy Baja, Oklahoma, playing herself. Although the film was not a huge success, Emmylou considered it a memorable memory and a small adventure in the world of cinema. Nearly 2 decades later, in 2006, she returned to the screen in the TV series Big Love, continuing to try her hand at a guest role. Those brief experiences helped her realize that no matter how attractive cinema is, music is still where her heart belongs. Today, Emmylou Harris continues to shine with the calm demeanor of a legend, an artist who has lived her life for art, for emotions, and for the audience. For her, music is not just a career, but a rhythm of life, an indispensable breath of life. Over the years, Emmylou Harris's voice seems to become warmer, deeper, and more enchanting than ever. Every time she sings, fans still feel the sincerity, emotion, and burning passion like in the beginning. There is no need for grand stages, just a small space, a guitar, and Emmylou's voice are enough to make the listener's heart flutter. Now, at the age of 78, Emmylou Harris lives a peaceful and fulfilling life in her beautiful home in Los Angeles. She enjoys peaceful days with her family, playing with her children and grandchildren, and enjoying the simple happiness of a woman who has experienced all the ups and downs of life. She once shared with a gentle smile that she still feels like she is 50, a testament to her youthful spirit, love of life, and full of energy. With an estimated fortune of about $15 million, Emmylou can comfortably enjoy the fruits of a glorious career. Although she has left the spotlight, she still follows the music world from afar, quietly observing the younger generation of artists, and is always proud of what she has contributed. Fans around the world still always have special respect and affection for her. Although Emmylou no longer performs regularly, they still hope that one day she will return, even if it is just for a small performance, to once again hear the sweet voice that has endured through the years. Because to them, Emmylou Harris is more than just a singer. She is an eternal icon of country music and American soul. Thank you so much for following. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more, please leave a like and subscribe. Each subscription is a great motivation for me to continue creating more meaningful and interesting content. Emmylou Harris was born on April 13, 1947, in Birmingham, Alabama, into a military family. Her father, Walter Rutland Harris, was a Marine Corps officer who served in both World War II and the Korean War. He was once taken as a prisoner of war, and the traumatic memories left him emotionally withdrawn, creating a barrier between him and Emmylou. Her mother, Eugenia, was a resilient and capable woman who raised Emmylou with love and discipline. Emmylou's childhood was a blend of military order and a dreamy soul. She stood out in school with outstanding academic performance, consistently earning straight A's, and was known for her intelligence and sensitivity. Everyone believed she would pursue a stable academic path, perhaps in law, medicine, or another prestigious profession. However, the artist's heart within Emmylou told her otherwise. Although she didn't come from a musical family, Emmylou quickly revealed a deep passion for the arts. She loved sound, melody, and the spotlight. When she received a scholarship to the University of North Carolina to study music, drama, and art, Emmylou began her journey to discover her true self. Initially, she dreamed of becoming an actress, but it was music that ultimately became her destiny, leading her to a legendary place in the world of country music. However, life's challenges and the intense academic environment of the university proved more difficult than she expected. Throughout college, Emmylou had to balance studying and performing at local clubs to earn money. She worked as a waitress just to make ends meet. As tuition and living expenses continued to rise, acting seemed increasingly out of reach. Overwhelmed by pressure and exhaustion, she made a bold decision to drop out. When asked why, Emmylou admitted, "I was just too tired of taking boring classes that had nothing to do with my life's purpose."